Well, we can all calm down. It's all under control now. Pope's spoken to God. He's going to call off the virus.
Welcome to Multiple Nerdgasm with your hosts, Matt, Luke, and Dan. Multiple Nerdgasm, your guide to all things nerdy.
He took his time.
He really did, didn't he?
So, I guess I'll ask.
Are they going to call off the institutional pedophilia as well, rampant in the Catholic Church, or is that not as important?
He could float that one with him, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that one's still going to stick around for a bit, but the virus should be gone by tomorrow.
Okay, well, that's good. Maybe it could stick around to the end of the week so I can still stay home from work for a bit longer. One thing's for sure, whenever I'm pirating fucking media content, I don't even think I can, in all good consciousness, call it Italy anymore.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have to come up with a new euphemism.
What will you call it now, then?
Yeah, for the old Pirate Bay. Call it Tortuga. That's too obvious.
Tortuga?
Yeah.
Tortuga?
Okay, sure. The island, the mysterious island of Tortuga.
Yeah, it's a Caribbean island, isn't it? Or a port in the Caribbean. I don't know a whole lot about Tortuga. I do know that it's in Pirates of the Caribbean, though, which is...
Oh, okay. I'd never heard of it, and I actually thought you'd made it up.
No.
So did I.
Yeah, we thought you were just being random, Matt.
Tortuga Island is a Caribbean island. It forms part of Haiti, off the northwest coast of Hispaniola.
So it is an island?
Yes. And apparently it means tortoise in English. That I did not know.
That makes sense.
Yep. Does it?
Tortoise.
Yeah. Speaking of working from home, we've got a listener update from a listener who shall be known only as McClunky, per request. But I have had confirmation that if you work at Pixar, you can work at home. It's just a pain in the ass. Because
it is.
Because they don't have the workstations to do stuff properly, and they don't have the bandwidth to do stuff properly. But they are working from home.
Well, that makes sense,
and they can.
I mean, it's a pain in the ass.
It's a big problem at the moment.
Pain in the ass just for me to work from home because I can't fucking keep an eye on my staff.
Don't trust them.
I'm sure you can trust them to go and do what you've told them to do.
Luke knows them very well, and they're very trustworthy. Yeah. Not just on Reddit.
I still think this is the one sort of good thing that's going to come out of all of this.
Work from home.
It's when we get past it, I think work from home is going to become more of a thing.
Oh, sure.
Maybe.
Because I think after the end of it, people are going to go, well, it is true, people are able to work from home and still get shit done.
Yeah.
And it won't have that. I think the reason why more people don't work from home or bosses don't allow it is that people think they just goof off when you see them at home.
I think it's okay for some people and not others. And also when you first do it, I think there is it is more tempting to goof off a bit. Like, because the first couple of times I worked from home, when I was in Sydney in particular, I was kind of like, I mean, I could just play my Xbox. And I think probably because I was younger and because it was new, but like it does take a certain amount of discipline to like not do that. You know what I mean?
The biggest problem I have when working from home is actually working too much.
Yeah, I agree. Stopping at a finish time.
I don't have lunch. I start earlier. I finish later. I also feel guilty that
you're at home,
that I'm not doing anything. So I work more.
Yeah.
So I need to actually, when I do, I need to actually set out time. I'm going to start at this time. I'm going to finish at this time. I'm going to break here for lunch and try and put myself into a bit more of a routine.
Yeah.
Still not going to wear pants though.
No, good God, no.
Well, my favorite thing about it is just not having to travel, because it's like I could.
Well, it gives you an extra hour of the day.
I'd be driving to work right now. I guess I will get play the Xbox for half an hour quickly, because why the fuck not? Because I don't, I don't have to start work for half an hour.
I mean, that works if you actually do allow yourself that time. For me, it's just like, I don't travel, so instead of sitting on a train and listening to a podcast for 45 minutes, I'll just start work earlier.
Sure.
And then still finish at the same time.
Yeah.
That you would be walking in the door, except now you've just worked that entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you got to set those boundaries.
Look, I mean, it's a pain in the ass, but we got it pretty easy, comparatively speaking. I mean, you know, some people in the world are really, really stung by this.
Totally.
Not the least of which, the 300 festival goers who are trapped at an outdoor music festival right now.
Really?
Trapped.
Yeah. Trapped. Unable to leave. And this looks like one of those real kind of,
God.
feral music festivals, like Burning Man style.
Tribal gathering festival. Jesus.
The type of stuff where you like to go and let yourself be free and you can do things a bit silly because you know you're never going to see these people again.
Yeah, and you'll be home in
stuck
3
with them.
days. Yeah, exactly right.
Oh, God. So
it's-
they've been at this festival in Panama, so they're overseas technically. Well, I mean, presumably a lot of them are overseas. Some of them probably locals. And the Border Patrol have just surrounded the festival and said, nah.
Not going anywhere.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
I mean, music festivals are great until suddenly they're not anymore. Like when you want to leave a music festival, like you just want to be fucking gone.
Yeah, totally.
But to me, I don't know. This, I think, goes back on them a little bit.
Go on.
Because it's not like this happened like weeks ago when we were just starting to hear about this. We were pretty much into a lot of lockdown when they decided to actually still go to the
True,
event.
but I think it's really ramped this week. Like, up until and including last week, I was thinking that maybe if this blows over, I still might be able to go on my holiday in 3 weeks. That's really not happening
Well, I
now.
was
Not
still
looking good.
planning to come and visit you in like 3 days.
Also not happening.
No, I was like,
Not going to happen.
They
not
will
happening.
not let you in.
No.
Yeah, you better have a long
No.
break because you have to spend 2 weeks in quarantine just coming into this country.
Yeah. And then I'd get to see you for a day, and then I'd have to come back and then spend another 2 weeks in quarantine.
Yeah, that's right.
this is crazy, man.
World is going to be a different place for a long time.
You know where's already a different place? Bangladesh. And you know why it's different? Because instead of social isolating and quarantine, they've had a mass gathering of 25,000 people who have come into the streets to all join hands and pray for COVID to go away. So, you know.
I mean, that's nice, but also that's not social distancing. That's the opposite
it's
of
not.
social distancing.
Well-
if you get together and hold hands,
Australia actually had to shut down Bondi Beach today
yes.
Huh.
because people were still just going
Wow.
and it'll be fine.
Yeah, we've got problems. Well, not problems. I mean, I don't have problems because they're far away from me. But yeah, it's spring break basically right now, and all the kids are like, I'm still going to the beach," and then they're all.
Worst spring break ever.
But that's what they're complaining about it. They're like, "Oh, I can't believe they've cancelled everything." It's like, you fucking morons.
Now, the thing is,
Go home.
Because
you go to spring break to circulate viruses anyway, just not this one.
yeah,
Different guys.
herpes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're all...
But no, it's sort of weird because people are just making this a lot harder than it needs to be. Like you still could have gone to the beach if you were sensible about it and just like still distance yourself from people and stuff. But I don't know, people just aren't doing smart things.
I went and played disc golf yesterday. That's fine.
Well,
I didn't touch anybody.
I mean,
Yep.
you're very distant, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that was instead of Greco-Roman wrestling, yeah?
Yes.
Which you normally
Yeah.
would do on a Saturday.
And
yeah.
my normal sensual massage lesson.
See, my social isolation, it's actually quite easy because I've had to change nothing.
Yes.
You've been practicing for this for decades.
It's my time to shine.
Mate, fucking Doom came out. What more do you want? Play Doom.
I've nearly finished it.
What's that?
I've nearly finished it.
All right, I haven't nearly finished it. I am enjoying it, though.
I'm surprised you gave it a go, Luke.
Well, I sat down and actually just finished the first Doom, like 2016. I finished that this week, and then I went,
That's-
I'll just
That's a
continue
fucking
on.
great game.
I like the first one better than the second one, I'll say that.
Really? Okay. The second one has more stuff going on.
Puzzle?
Well, and even, I mean, just like the 2016 Doom, right? You've got all Doom levels and you have collectibles in it, and it's very clear that here's a list of all the shit you can do in this level, and once you've completed it, it's done. The second one seems to have more kind of like social stuff, and it's got changing goals, I guess. It seems like they've done more to make it expandable, I guess. If that's do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, there's daily quests and things
exactly.
like this.
What?
So
Yeah.
it's less defined as like I have now completed the game kind of thing. I don't think that you're not really going to do that with this one.
No, this is one's designed for you to keep going back and get experience to unlock things, and which I'm not going to do. I'm going to finish the game.
Yeah. No, this one's good. Did you play 2016 one, Dan?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay. It's I mean, it's good if you like Doom, but it is. I mean, I guess
I liked
you
Doom,
kind of got to like
but
it.
I mean, when I played Doom and Doom 2, I mean, there wasn't a lot of options, right? weren't a lot to those games.
This new one, fucking like, I feel like they've done some really cool shit. Like ammo is more scarce, and so you have to chainsaw things. So the way you get health is you do finishing moves on demons, basically, and the way you get ammo,
Which are brutally murdering them.
yeah, you like
by
feed them
ripping
their own
head off
arms.
with your bare hands.
Yeah, and
Okay.
beat them to
Sounds
death with their foot. And to get ammo, you chainsaw them, and then they just ammo sprays everywhere.
They just
Which I
hemorrhage
quite
ammo.
like that
Okay.
new edition.
Well, you could do that in the first one, in the 2016 one, but in this one, the chainsaw always has a little bit of
You need
fuel
to.
in it. So you can always, and there's less ammo around, so you kind of have to do it more. So,
Does everyone have ammo inside them?
yeah.
Nice.
Not unclear why, but they do.
No, don't need to know. Better to not know, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is one of the first games I'm playing with not worrying about the achievements.
Interesting.
Oh, really?
So I haven't even looked at what the achievements
What's brought
are.
this on?
They're just unlocking as I play.
Because they're so easy that you don't have to worry about them, or because you would be playing this for fun regardless?
I am trying to do a thing where I play some games just for fun.
So you're
Yeah.
just living like me now.
It's a new concept.
But one thing with this, it's sort of a bit weird because the collectibles, they're not super hard to find.
Yeah.
So I am still going through and collecting all of them, but I'm not getting it a guide out and getting it that way. I'm just playing the game and finding them myself. And if it takes me an extra 30 minutes just to find this one collectible, I'm just doing it instead of, so...
Well, it shows
Bit
you
different.
on the map where that there is something. Usually, you just have to figure out how to get to
Yeah,
it.
some of them can be a bit hard to work out how to get.
Yeah, totally.
And some of them, I've spent half an hour and then I've gone, look, I'm going to continue and I'll come back to it later. And then I found out that, you had to continue and then come back.
Right.
Well, it's supposed to be
Gotcha.
hard to
'cause
get. That's why it's a game and not a movie.
yes.
But yeah, no, I'm quite proud of myself.
Oh, good job.
Well, we're
Well,
proud
I'm
of you
quite
too,
proud
Lucky.
of you, and I'm quite proud of id Software because I think it's a fucking great game. So
Man, I'm so annoyed. I mean, gaming has spiked massively during this quarantine period.
yeah,
But does that mean there's people that get to stay home but don't have any work to do? I'm just as busy, if not busier, now than I was before.
I'm not
I've
sure,
got even
like-
less time for games.
I'm not sure.
there are
is the right
Yeah.
word? Some people,
Some people are, you no longer have a job because we can't keep open.
like Rhode
sure.
Island has shut down all bars, restaurants, and cafes. You can do takeout and delivery, and so
Yep, and
there are
Canberra's just done that same thing. So all non-essential shops, so all bars, restaurants, cafes, shut down in the next 48 hours.
and people are now on unemployment because they've all the staff have been laid off. So those people probably have a lot of time to play video games, but I'm not sure they're that happy about it.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'll stop envying them.
And there's these weird calls on, I get it and I don't get it, right? People on Twitter saying, you need to shut down rent, make it so we don't have to pay rent. It's like, how the fuck's that going to work? Because then you're just going to
Yeah.
fuck over all the landlords. Like, do people not realize how the
Yeah,
fuck
and
what rent is?
Yeah. And landlords are just people who own houses. That is
Exactly.
their income.
Well, some things that are being floated around are, stopping loans so people don't have to repay loans for 6 months. That's something that's being talked about.
Well, that's fine. Like, that's different in a way. But then you, sort of, because then you're screwing over the company that issued the loan in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not paying your landlord rent, presumably your landlord, in most circumstances, uses your rent to pay the mortgage. So then they can't pay their mortgage. and then so you put the mortgage on hold, and then so the bank isn't getting money in from the mortgage.
Yeah, like this is everything's a huge flow-on effect, which is
it just seems like people only care about themselves and they don't really think about it. So like it's more complicated than just all right. We've told them you don't have to pay rent anymore. Like it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm doing little things, like even though cafes are shop, but they can still do takeaway. Order that takeaway to try and help them as much as you can, because that's the flow and effect you can try and affect.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Support your
to
local
keep
businesses.
that money flowing, help those businesses so they can try and keep paying people. So yeah, it doesn't, because this is going to kill us for years as it is.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I mean, the toilet paper industry in Australia has to bounce back. And similarly, in Canada, they've evidently been stockpiling cannabis.
Right. For years, it turns out, just fortunately.
No.
Is it legal in Canada?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I don't think this is just saying that, like, winkety wink, a lot of Canadians are buying weed this week. I think that cannabis dispensaries are experiencing the highest sales ever during to people going.
I wonder if a cannabis dispensary would be classified as essential.
Depends who you ask, I'd say.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Stockpiling weed. God.
Yeah.
How long, I mean, I'm not sure either of you are going to know the answer to this, but how long is weed good for if you stockpiled it?
No idea.
Like toilet paper, you could use that for years, presumably. Food,
you could keep a pack of cigarettes
much.
for years, though, right?
I don't
They
think
become stale.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to. I mean,
yeah, I've come across a packet of cigarettes that I sort of put aside and came across it like a year later. That was open.
Yeah,
and
but
it was
opened.
horrible.
Yeah, but if you had a sealed packet, you could probably.
Oh, interesting. You know what? I have no idea. But yeah, I guess maybe.
Like, because I've never bought a pack of cigarettes, not that I smoke anymore, but I've never bought a pack of cigarettes and looked at the use-by date on it, like to make sure, this is still in date.
I never really considered that they would have a use-by date, actually.
Exactly.
Then again, don't smoke either, so...
fresh from anywhere to 6 months to a year.
Okay.
It's stored well.
Okay. Well, let's hope we're not smoking old cigarettes in a year from now, because at some point I'd like to be able to go back to the office.
I did find some toilet paper the other day in my travels. I ducked out to.
Did you have to stab someone for it?
No.
Yeah.
Ocean State job lot. I found some.
What?
It's kind of weird, right?
That?
So it's like it's a shop that's like
it's a shop.
How would you describe it?
Well, that's less interesting.
Like Campbell's Cash and Carry almost.
Okay.
Like it's not wholesale though. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like a generic, kind of like a dollar store, but it's not like a dollar store. It's just like a discount store, I guess, kind of.
Okay.
I don't know. So I went out the other day because I was like, well, we need some stuff. I've been getting groceries delivered, but it's funny actually. The stuff that I've been having delivered, they've been saying, "Oh, this is out of stock. This is out of stock." So I ventured out. I went to Ocean State Job Lot where I found toilet paper. I went to Dave's Marketplace, which is a supermarket, and everything at Dave's was fairly normal. They had like most of the normal stuff they would have, all the fresh fruit and vegetables, and 90% of other things, but they were just completely out of toilet paper, paper towel, sanitizers and things, and flour for some reason. No flour, and no broth, like soup broth.
Do you buy broth?
Yeah, of course I do.
What do you use broth for?
Fucking all sorts of things, mate. If I want to make a soup,
I don't even know what broth really is.
What do you cook?
I don't know, salmon and vegetables.
Okay, well, you wouldn't need it for that, obviously.
Luke, it's my understanding that you do all the cooking in your house, right?
Yeah, but I've never had a need for broth. That's why I'm a bit confused about what it is.
Do you do
Have you ever made
soups?
soup?
No, I don't do soup.
Risotto?
No.
What about a shepherd's pie or
mashed
something like that?
potatoes. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, any kind of pie, actually. If you were making a pie filling, you'd use it.
No, I'm not, I don't do fancy stuff.
Quay has started making her own
Pie
broth.
isn't fancy.
Fancy stuff like shepherd's pie. That's great. Or a soup.
It sounds complicated.
It's not.
No.
It is for me.
Oh, anyway, we use it. Well, ramen, actually, we use it quite a lot for.
Ooh.
So.
See, I don't make my own ramen because really good ramen is very, very attainable here.
Yeah, right. Not so much here.
Yeah.
Although, actually, there is a good place in Providence. Can't go there right now, though. So.
No, you can't. Is it snowing there, Matt? You got your fire going inside?
No, it's been nice the last couple of days. The weather here's so fucking weird. It snowed last week. I'm sure you saw my snap.
Yeah, I saw that.
Deck playing in the snow.
Wasn't snowing here today, obviously, but it did bucket down rain all day. So we got cozy and curled up in front of 4K fireplace on the telly. That was nice.
Beautiful.
Were you streaming it?
Yeah.
Well, did it look okay? Because they're talking about how YouTube and Netflix lowering the quality of their videos.
Yeah, I read that, but no, it looked fine. But maybe I wouldn't know the difference.
I honestly think there's a lot of stuff that comes out as 4K and says it's so good that you really don't notice the difference.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You think it's false advertising?
I think it's one of the things that they put in your head that this is going to be better, and then you believe it.
All right.
That's what I tell myself. 'Cause I'm not allowed to buy a 4K television.
Look, all I know is
that.
when I was still shooting on SD and HD came out, but it was thousands and thousands of dollars more, I was like, SD is fine by me, thanks. And that just means that I can't even do anything with any of the footage I shot pre-2010. It's fucking garbage.
Yeah. DV tape, perfect.
Yeah. Man, they used to be $30 a tape when I first started shooting on DV as well.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of them in a box somewhere.
Oh, so do I, man. What, empty ones or full ones?
I'm sure. They'd all be full, I'm sure. I had to reuse them because they're too expensive.
No, exactly right. Exactly. Yeah, no, I got a box of them.
We've got some other listener-submitted coronavirus news. Thank you, Darcy, for sending this in. Pornhub, ever the opportunists, have made Pornhub free, which I presume they mean Pornhub because Pornhub has like
Pornhub.
There's a premium.
Look, I'm no Pornhub expert, but premium, right? Well, what does that get you?
Yeah, what does that get you?
I think that gets you to the live sex shows, the cam stuff. Maybe I don't know.
Didn't know about that. Do they remove ads or something? Maybe I don't know.
Ads?
But they've made it free
ads
for
on Pornhub.
There are you get ads.
Are they not ads? I assume that
I've never seen an ad.
Isn't that how people pay for everything? Ads these days? You don't see ads on Pornhub?
It's not like YouTube where you click a video and there's like a 30-second ad or anything.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe the ads are subliminal.
You don't see ads on the page when you're on Pornhub? Like cheeky little ad at the side?
Yeah. Maybe it's like old-timey TV where they have to incorporate the ad into the general show itself.
Well, maybe it's just that we all use ad blockers, right? So maybe that's why you don't see any ads. Maybe they're supposed to be there.
Ad blockers don't block pre-rolls, though.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
They can. Yeah.
My fucking ad blocker doesn't.
I don't see ads on YouTube.
I don't use an ad blocker.
I usually allow them on YouTube because I want YouTubers to get money, but I'm pretty sure you can block that shit.
Well, I'm going to look into that.
No, one thing, because I actually get YouTube, I pay for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I get YouTube Red and stuff. But I've always wondered, because you know how like videos will get demonetized?
Yes.
If I'm watching them and a lot of other people who are paying are watching them, do they get money? Because the monetization normally comes from the ads, but I'm paying for that not to be a case. So I think they should still get money from people like me.
My guess is no.
Probably no, but...
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
You know what's really irritating? When you have to fucking wait for your YouTube video to play because a commercial is playing that you fucking directed. That's really fucking annoying.
Yeah, I've fucking seen it.
That happens to me so often. It's like, no, I don't have to watch this.
I hate it when you've been watching enough YouTube videos that it gets to the point where it's like you can't skip the ads anymore. You got to watch them. Like you've watched so many videos.
Yeah, they'll stop the video midway to play you an ad.
Yeah, you can't skip it. It's like,
mind you, I noticed that last time I was in Australia that ads on television, because I don't watch television, free to air TV.
No, me either.
And so I never see TV commercials, in situ. But when I was a kid and growing up, there used to be someone whose job it was to find the optimal point in shows and movies to put a commercial break. The end of an act,
Sure.
cliffhanger. Now, they're practically mid-sentence. It's like...
Well, they used to make shows around it too. Like, they used to structure them, whereas not anymore. Now it's all like, if it's for Netflix, they don't... it's more artistic than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just structure it however it's best for the show.
Yeah, so one episode might go for 50 minutes, the next one 60, the next one 55.
Yes. Yeah, whereas they used to, insert commercial breaks where they would repeat information even. In fact, some old shows, if you watch them now without ads, they're a little strange because they're like, why did they say that twice? It's because
reality
come back from the
TV
ad
does
break at
that.
point.
Reality TV will just use the same quote at the top and tail of every ad break.
Yes. When I watch Property Brothers on Hulu, that happens.
Matt, I checked that out on your
It's a good
recommendation.
show, right?
No, man, it's not. It's not.
You don't like Property Brothers?
Man, it's so fucking cheesy. You've been Americanized.
It's no Storage Wars.
I can do Aussie
Storage
property
Wars.
shows. I can do British property shows, but American ones just grate me.
I guess maybe I'm just used to them now.
It's just like a cheese
That's my
grater.
people now.
Cheese grater on the inside of my brain.
Okay. Well, listeners, give it a shot. Drew and Jonathan, good guys. They do some good work.
Look, before we move on from free porn that the Italians are getting,
Yes.
I was reading an article in the Wrap today about how all actors in Hollywood are affected because basically citywide in LA, the studios are shut down. And that
Yes.
includes the studios
Well,
in
they've
the
been
valley.
told to stay home.
Yeah,
They're on
i.e.
lockdown.
porn stars, right? So, but porn stars do have the advantage, according to the Wrap, because they can also choose to do solo content. Whereas, Amy Adams can't just be like, well, my movie got cancelled, so I'll just do a one-woman show that you can watch. I mean, she could, but no one would watch it.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, yeah. But that would be classed as, the other thing. So,
Porn finds a way.
A lot of those, going on to do a porn, like the OnlyFans stuff, and they can still keep...
oh, yeah, I keep seeing that everywhere on Twitter. What's that? And also, I saw OnlyFans is now putting out statements saying it's not just for porn, guys.
Actually, that was going to be my next question.
It's gotten a bit of a rep
Is
now.
it just for porn? Because I see that all over Reddit too.
Yeah, no, I think it's gotten a reputation for that now because I think that's what everyone sees, but it's actually not supposed to be just for that. It's more like Patreon, which I guess Patreon is also a bit of a reputation for being just porn, but...
Really?
But nowhere as bad as... I think it's not so much porn for Patreon, it's more so like the here are photos of me.
Yeah, I think...
Well, are they nude in those photos? Because that is porn.
Not nude, but a lot more revealing.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not sure because I don't give any of their money, so...
I know... actually, they mentioned this statistic in Silicon Valley. I think it's just that such a big percentage of the internet is porn. Like 30-something%. Because I think they say, 36% is of the internet, of all traffic on the internet is porn. And Erlich says 37% when I'm online. But I think maybe it's just got to do with that, is that if you're going to support somebody on Patreon, it's probably tits.
Should I start getting my tits out for Patreon?
Maybe.
I'll do it if it'll help.
Oh, help us on Patreon.
Help us.
Oh,
Gotcha.
tits out. Yeah, I'll get my tits out. No worries. Yeah, I only support podcasters on Patreon, which is the opposite of tits, because I don't even know what half these guys look like. Nor do I care, really.
We support Penny Arcade on Patreon, obviously. And then I support...
Do they get their tits out?
Oh.
I've never checked, but I doubt it.
Not after the Dick Wolves incident.
Yes. Google that.
Yeah.
People. It did not go well for them.
And that was back when you could kind of make jokes like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of pioneered not being able to make jokes about certain things.
That's right. And of all people, too, Mike and Jerry, like, they didn't mean anything by it.
No. They're just dumb, awkward nerds.
Yeah.
Lovely guys.
Man, I laughed my fucking head off at the Dick Wolves back in the day. And I didn't even... Like, my brain didn't even register that as something that you shouldn't say.
No. Because the thing they're making fun of, they did a comic back in the day where making fun of role-playing games and MMOs in particular, where you show up and there's a bunch of people enslaved and they're like, free 5 of them, and then you come back and the rest of them are like, what about us? And you're like, nah, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I only needed a free 5.
But the line that the character spoke, the enslaved person said, was that at night they're raped to sleep by dick wolves, and that did not go well for them.
And it wasn't only that too. It was a long list of torture that they have to endure. Right?
Yes.
And nobody was saying it was good. It was just a long list of bizarre, bewildering torture, like being raped to sleep by dick wolves, whatever the fuck that means.
Right.
To make it all the more callous when the character says, "No, my quest was for 5. I've freed 5."
I've done my bit. Well, that was the joke. Yeah. So, but then they doubled down on it, which was the problem.
Yeah, because everyone was like, "Don't make fun of rape," and they were like,
"We weren't making fun of rape. We were making fun of video games where you don't rescue everybody." And then they released Team Dick Wolves merch.
Yeah, which is probably going too far.
Made it worse. And then, I mean, look,
Matt,
since then they've apologized.
I'm only going to ask you this once. Do you have a Team Dick Wolf t-shirt?
No, I don't. I don't.
You wouldn't lie to me, Matt, would you?
No, I wouldn't. In fact, and they since then they've come out and they've said, look, please stop wearing them to PAX. If you have one, stop wearing them.
Yeah, so Luke, you don't have one, so you won't need to wear it. But I also think it's probably time to stop wearing your t-shirt that just says rape, but instead of the P, it's a love heart.
Yes. That's a weird shirt.
That was my Catherine shirt.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah. Don't wear that anymore.
I thought it was rave.
No.
I think maybe it's supposed to be, but I've played the game briefly, and I'm not quite sure what the shirt even means anyway.
There's no raving. I've played the game too. I played the game until I couldn't possibly play it any longer.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird game.
So you don't understand why the shirt exists either. You just have
No, I have no idea. I just used to wear it.
It doesn't even say Catherine on it. It doesn't advertise the game at all. It just says...
It doesn't have anything on it except for the word rape.
It just looks like it says rape on it.
No, it looks like he says he loves rape.
Yeah, yes.
He's not just endorsing it. He fucking loves it.
I thought it was for raves.
Yeah, well, maybe, but that's not what it looks like. Well, I guess maybe it's contextual,
you probably
right? We
wore
look
it
at
to
it, we
raves.
see rape. We look at it and we see rape because it's you and I, Dan. Because
that's
someone
what
else
we
might
love.
look at it and go, "Oh, I love raves as well."
So
Dave might look at it
mate,
and go, "Oh, Rage by id Software. I love that game."
Yeah. It's like the Rorschach test of t-shirts.
Yeah. Oh, my friend Ravi. I love him too.
Yeah. They spelled rain wrong.
Well, we've got some other. I mean, there's plenty of coronavirus news going on out there. Is any of it funny?
It's all
we're
funny.
trying to keep things light.
I mean, France has started fining the homeless for violating the indoors curfew.
What?
God.
And as you'll remember, because the three of us were in
sounds like France
recently, there's a lot of fucking homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, this sounds like something France would do.
Yeah, it
Because
does.
it's even weird, like, even over there, like, a lot of the toilets over there were pay toilets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's weird. Yeah, and they disappear into the floor to clean themselves when you're finished.
I don't think
You've
I
seen
saw
that?
No.
The ones that, like, on like a street corner, right? There'd be like a big circular thing, like construction,
yeah.
right? And it's a toilet.
Remember the one we hid from Matt? When Matt went in, we all hid from him?
Yeah, that's right. And I didn't even realize that you were hiding. I was just like, oh, that's weird. But when to clean themselves, the whole thing lowers into the floor.
They clean themselves like a cat.
Well, hopefully not quite like that. but yes, they can like be like that. And in London, have you seen the ones in London where it's a urinal that just rises up out of the sidewalk, and you walk up and pee in it? What? Like there's no door or anything. It's just a urinal that rises up out of the sidewalk.
How did I miss this?
So someone's walking past me and I'm trying not to make eye contact because I'm pissing?
Here you go. Let me, I'll put this in the show notes, listeners. Copy. Pop this down. It'll be down the bottom under the dick news. Click that. These are in London.
What?
And if you're in London on a Saturday night, I mean, I don't know what time of day, to be honest. I mean, I saw them in...
God.
Yeah.
I mean, for starters, if you saw this, I'd think this was some kind of Doctor Who shit.
Well, we were walking around, and I was like, the fuck is that? And then Jared was like, oh, it's a urinal. Like,
for those listening that can't see this,
there you go.
Your back is just exposed to the street.
It's just a urinal in the street. But it's a tube, like it's circular, right? There's 3 of them, right? Like around it, and then it just like the TARDIS,
yeah.
And then but you piss in it, and then it just disappears into the ground to clean itself.
This is one of those things that was created because guys were just pissing in the street.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest.
Probably, yeah.
France does smell like it's just one big urinal.
Well, I was told that's because of all the stray dogs, but I'm not sure. I
didn't see that many stray dogs, Matt.
Did see a lot of people pissing in the street though. So.
Yeah, sometimes I saw a bit more than just piss on the ground. And didn't look like a dog's.
Guys, I've told you about...
very familiar.
I've told you about my trip to Vietnam, right? Where I was shooting an interview on a bridge.
I don't know.
So
tell us again.
We're trying to find a really nice spot, and we find this bridge over the Saigon River. It's beautiful, right? And so we're carrying all our gear up, and then we find a guy, homeless guy, supposedly, lying on the ground, covered in his own shit. And we're like, okay, maybe we'll go to the other end of the bridge then. So we go to the other end of the bridge, right? So we're kind of shooting back in his direction, but he's out of shot because he's on the ground, right? So we're doing our interview. The host is, in center frame. And then at a certain point, we see this guy wander into the back of frame, not too far away. He then pulls out his dick, presumably to piss, because that's what I thought was going on, because we already know he's not picky about where he goes. But no, it was to inject drugs directly into his cock.
Oh, Jesus.
And he wanted to do that on camera?
I don't even know what drugs you want in your dick.
Maybe he didn't realize there was a camera there. I mean, it sounds like he probably wasn't.
He definitely didn't.
Jesus.
He did not know we were there.
Fucking hell. All right.
Nor did he care.
Listeners, if you've injected drugs into your dick, write in podcast at multiplenerdgasm.com. Let us know, what do you even inject into there? Jesus.
I can't think of any drug that I'd want my dick to feel the effects of.
Actually,
maybe ecstasy.
I've actually had drugs put in my dick.
Oh, go on.
Okay. Yeah, this is back in your party days.
No, this is actually this year.
Okay.
Oh.
Remember when they put the camera up there?
Yeah.
I do remember.
Oh, sure.
They put the numbing stuff in there.
Yeah.
I mean, they put a line of it, and then on the table, and they're like, snort this with your dick hole.
Pretty much.
Like a Hoover.
Oh,
look,
God.
I mean, recreationally speaking,
bad memories.
Other than when I was about to get a camera up there, I don't ever want my dick to be numb. That's where I want feeling. And the old dick.
Yeah, no, if you saw the size of this camera, you want it numb.
Look, before we get off...
It's not as small as they said it was going to be.
The doctor was like, oh, okay, Luke, this is a Canon 5D Mark II. Unfortunately, it's all we have available.
Mark II, man. Oh, I don't know. That's an old camera.
Mate.
It's a 10-year-old camera now.
It's all we can afford. But it's a budget cut.
Can't even
just
shoot at 50 frames a second.
We've got a bit of string tied to it. And
Yeah.
we're going to pull it out when we're done. So limber up, buddy.
Yeah. We've got a telephoto lens on there so we can see up real close.
Yeah.
Just to take a deep breath.
with a fisheye adapter on the end.
Oh.
Which does, the fisheye lens does increase the girth somewhat.
Yeah, but it is convex, so you'll only feel it in the middle, not the edges. But fuck, you will feel it in the middle. Look, before we exit genital news, and while we're talking about things that self-clean and cats, this is a wild segue.
Okay.
I mean, you know what? We're going to talk about buttholes. Are buttholes a genital? I don't even know if they are. Probably not.
Sure.
I mean, but, this could still fit
General
here.
vicinity.
We've talked about the movie Cats, that box office, audience, and critical flop that no one was asking for. And when it came out, everyone hated it. They had to then patch it to try to make the special effects better. Didn't help. And apparently, the first version was already actually the second version, because in the test version that they had even prior to release, all the cats had buttholes.
What?
I mean, because one of the things we know about cats is that they have very prominent buttholes.
They do.
Yeah.
That's a cat
I
thing.
can sort of understand it a little bit, but
Imagine watching that crazy, trippy musical movie Cats, and then just all of them have buttholes.
I mean, do you think they did the test effects and the director? Who directed that? I can't even recall.
Christ, I have no idea.
But they're screening some effects, and the director was like, "I mean, this is great and all, but where's the butthole?"
Yeah.
Sorry, what? Where the butthole? I mean, it's cats. Yeah.
The reason
what do we know about cats?
About these buttholes.
4 legs, butthole.
The reason we know about the buttholes is because one of the visual effects artists took to Twitter this week and pointed out that he'd spent days and weeks painting out the buttholes that he'd spent days and weeks painting in several months before.
Mm-hmm. I also read an article this week that said that there was a scene of one of the cats pissing in it originally that they removed as well.
Yeah, right.
And because I think maybe another effects artist saw it at the movies and was like, "Oh, they cut out the pissing."
I mean,
makes sense.
You couldn't fucking pay me to watch this, honestly.
so no, you haven't. So Matt, did you see it?
No, I'll probably watch it at some point, but I'm not.
I'll watch it if the buttholes go back.
Well, there is a whole movement on the internet right now. Release the butthole cut.
It's really going to break my immersion if they don't have buttholes. I've seen a cat.
Didn't they lose money?
Oh, they lost a lot of money, Luke. A lot of money, yeah. So you're right. I mean, maybe if they release the butthole cut and people watch it just for morbid curiosity, maybe they'd make a little of that back.
Here's a question.
Go ahead.
Were they the actual actors' buttholes? If they release this, is it Taylor Swift's anus, or is it just a generic anus?
Hold on, let me check. Let me Google
I
Taylor
really need to know.
Swift anus and see what comes up. Okay. Okay. The first image that comes up when you Google image search Taylor Swift anus is a picture of Taylor Swift with buttholes for eyes. So there's that.
Jesus.
It's quite terrifying. And do you think that there was just a gap in the costume where the actors' individual buttholes could be seen through? Or once they'd done it, the visual effects guy had to go around to each cast member and say, "Hey, can I get a picture of your butthole?"
Or, they do the they put plaster around your head to get a cast for the, prosthetic head. And then they're like, "All right, and we just need you to sit in this, pool of plaster for the, for the rest of it." Maybe that's... they may have gotten that company edibleanus.com to assist with the...
yes.
If you recall that company
I
we
recall.
talked about, where they make your anus into chocolate for your loved one.
www.edibleanus.com
To eat.
Yes. So I got to say, I'm... the Snyder cut's still floating around, but I feel like the butthole cut is the more interesting...
Yeah. Unless
Of the
Zack
two,
Snyder
at this
comes
point.
out and says that his version of the Justice League, they all had anuses.
On the Bat costume.
Yeah. No capes.
You could call it the Bat Hole cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's in the First World War, calling her butthole no man's land.
We've got some other genital news sent in. Back on brand. Cognac Legion has sent in.
Thanks, Cognac Legion.
Some genital news. And this is a clip, an audio clip of a lecture in progress, while something else is in progress.
Yeah, so let me just... So, where was it? Because it sounds like she's got an Australian accent.
She definitely sounds Australian. That's the lecturer,
really
not
did.
the one giving the hand job.
Yeah, we don't actually hear the one giving the hand job. But yeah, she just...
Oh, you can
sort
hear
of
it.
awkward...
I actually think that
very awkwardly...
if it was me that was putting this up online, I would just be like adding a sound effect layer. You know what I mean?
Sound effect, yeah.
Because
Sure.
we'll link to this, guys. But for those of you who can't hear it, yeah, I would have definitely put a hand job sound effect track all through that.
So it does go for a fair bit, the thing, and she's just there, and she's just, as you heard, she's just there going... She doesn't really want to have to bring this up.
Well, it's not in her
sure.
job description. You know, it's really above her pay grade to say no hand jobs in the classroom. But I want to know how
I think it's
far through this
It's written on the
was
board.
the hand job still going on? Because she
I
makes it
think
pretty
it
clear,
may have been.
you know, quite early on that she's like, hey,
'Cause-
someone's doing something and they should stop doing it.
Yeah, but I think it may have been going because she does sort of say that, but then for another 30 seconds before it really comes out to what it really is. And I think she tried to give the sort of subtle warning that, hey, but they just kept going.
Yeah. I mean, a hand job's a hand job. It reminds me of that old joke, you know, the guy had the wife who was deaf, and so, you know, they had trouble communicating at night in their sex life. So he said, look, if you want to have sex, let me know by pulling on my dick once. And if you don't want to have sex, let me know by pulling on my dick 50 times.
I remember that joke.
You know-
That's a primary school
You know who
joke.
told me that joke?
Who?
Dave's mum.
No, Dave's mum.
No.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say that on the show?
While she was jerking me off.
Well, that's staying in.
That's what she said.
Remember that joke about the guy with the new robot arm that responds to voice commands? Remember that one?
Remind me.
So this guy loses his arm somehow, some hilarious way,
Not
and then he gets a
important.
new robot arm. And the doctor says, "Oh, it responds to voice commands." And so he's like, "Oh, it's amazing." And then he's like, "Oh, pick up the can." And then it picks up the can. And then he's like, "Crush the can." And it crushes the can. The doctor says, "Oh, yeah, it's quite powerful. You have to be careful." So he goes home, and that night he's sitting there watching TV, and a lingerie ad comes on, and he's like, "Oh." And then so he says.
Presumably he's still got one
Unzip
human
my
hand
fly.
though, right? That he could use instead. He has to use
Yeah.
the robot.
Yeah, he says, "Unzip my fly," and then so the hand does it, and he's like, "All right, get my bits out, get my junk out," and it does it, and then he says, "Now pull it off."
Oh no! Ouch!
And then he ends up back in hospital, obviously, and gets a robot dick.
No 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 no.
What?
That was the Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
Oh, gotcha.
Pull it off.
Pull it off.
We've got a
Geek of the week.
Yeah, Geek of the Week candidate.
Yep.
Known and loved for his chicken as much as his music.
I'm not. I mean, I know who this is, sort of, but I don't think I know any of the music made by this gentleman.
You would know the Gambler.
Yeah.
You would know the Gambler. You got to
Alright,
know
so
when
we're
to
talking
hold
about
them.
Kenny Rogers.
Know when to fold
Kenny
them.
Rogers has died. Not. Oh, sure. Okay, I do know that song. Yeah.
And you'd know the duet he
Kenny
did
Rogers
with
has
Dolly
died.
Parton, Islands in the Stream.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I stand corrected.
Yeah, you probably know, a lot more than you
It's
thought you
Kenny,
Okay.
man. He's an institution. And he's dead.
He's got okay. One of his songs is used in The Big Lebowski, so I've almost certainly heard whatever song that is.
Yeah, the most
Not
overrated
familiar with.
movie of ever. Fuck.
Oh, it's a pretty good movie, mate. Come on.
I'm going to have to rewatch it, man, because I
movie.
didn't drink the fucking Big Lebowski Kool-Aid that y'all drank.
I haven't seen
Man,
it.
it's certainly my least favourite Coen Brothers movie, put it that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give it another go. It's got a sequel now.
Oh, well, yeah, spin-off about the Jesus the bowling guy.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if we needed that, but fair enough. Fair enough.
So, Luke, are we allowing
Luke,
Kenny Rogers?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a tough one.
Not
Is it?
necessarily a geek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it is a week.
it is a week.
If you had
He's
found
dead.
out
That's true.
that he had titty fucked Dolly Parton, would that qualify him?
I think that would.
Because I bet you he has.
All right, we're going to go off. Well, but because he most likely titty fucked Dolly Parton, yes. Geek of the week.
Yeah, right. So if we ever find out proof that he didn't titty fuck Dolly Parton, we're taking this on a
How
back.
do you prove that? How do you prove that he didn't?
Well, if Dolly
Like,
comes out
definitive
and
proof.
is like, listen, I've been listening to a
Didn't
podcast
Yeah,
that's
but
been
she could
spreading
lie.
some slander.
She could lie. Yeah.
They always do.
He was married 5 times and had 5 kids.
Oh, one to each wife?
It doesn't say. I mean, that is the implication, but it doesn't say. Like,
I told you, didn't I, about our driver in the Philippines? We've got a guy in the Philippines that we use as our driver / security guard when we go to the Philippines, right? He drives us around and stops us from getting stabbed. And he has about 6 or 7 children, right? And he's got all of their names tattooed on his forearm, on his immense muscular forearm, right? And
Okay.
and he's married, right? He's a family man. And I said to him once, I said, oh, you know, there's kids, you know, they're all your wife's kids. He said, oh, no. And as it turns out, of his 6 kids, there's something like 4 different mothers, right, that span these, right? But he was going through them and he was like, okay, these top 2 are from one woman, the other one's from someone else, the next one is from the first woman, she doesn't know about these 2, she doesn't know about these 2, and this one doesn't know about any of them but this one. And I'm like, well, what do all these women think the other names on your arm are?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And? Oh, you didn't?
He
You're
did
too
not
scared
have
to
an
ask him?
answer. Yeah.
Maybe they're too scared to ask.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't ask about the arm. Okay. Just
Yeah.
noticed that one of those names is our kid, so that's why I asked, don't ask about the arm.
Yeah. There's a bunch of kids I like, and I get their names tattooed on me. Don't ask questions.
Is Don't Ask About the Arm the name of this podcast this week?
It could be. It was going to be Tortuga.
Oh, yeah. We can
but-
keep with Tortuga.
Or Tortoise. Tortoise Tuga. I don't know.
Tortoise.
Man. I don't know. Tortoise.
There was always
Tortoise.
one kid who pronounced it tortoise.
Tortoise. You know what a turtle is? Same thing.
Same thing.
There's some Star Wars news, as usual. Sorry, Craig. One of these pieces of Star Wars news, it's not really Star Wars news, it's more like Star Wars content. It's been submitted by Darcy as well. Thank you, Darcy.
So, Craig, you can take this up
Someone
with
on
Darcy
Reddit-
if you don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. This is I mean, I think it's an odd thing to do, but I think it's kind of interesting. Somebody on Reddit has rewritten Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker and made it into a comic because they thought they could tie it in better. Which, I mean, possible. And this little comic is the art style is adorable and
Yeah,
cool. And
it is
It's
adorable.
all very interesting. So
This counted as TLDR for me because it's 65 pages long, but I might go back to it at some stage.
Yeah. And then, you know, I don't know, it's an interesting project. This is in the subreddit Fixing Movies, where I guess that's what the theme of this subreddit is, you know, fixing movies that people didn't think were very good. I thought Rise of Skywalker was quite good, so I'm not,
Yeah.
you know.
It's out on streaming now, so you can watch it again.
Yes. I purchased it. I purchased it because I own all the others, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna not buy this one, because they're now available on streaming. So
still need to own it.
Yeah, and because it's got all the bonus stuff that I got to sit down and watch.
But yeah, it looks very cute, but I don't know if I would.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't really read Star Wars comics, the ones that, come out in print. So I'm probably not going to read this, but it does look very cute. You know what Star Wars comic I did read was the one that they did a few years ago based on George Lucas's first draft of the Star Wars script.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got an actual hard copy of that here somewhere.
It is interesting, but at the same time, there's no nostalgia when you read it because it's so different.
Yeah, totally.
It's just a different space story.
Yeah. The other Star Wars news, Rian Johnson this week, he was talking about, he's sort of, I guess, put his foot in his mouth a little bit because I'm sure this is not what he meant. But he was just talking about how when he was doing Knives Out, they did a bunch of test screenings that really helped him nail the movie down, like to make sure the audiences got, reacted when he wanted and all that kind of stuff. And he said that he really wishes he could have done that with The Last Jedi.
Oh,
and
fucking bet he did.
Obviously, yeah, I bet everybody who does a Star Wars movie wishes they could fucking do that.
Yeah, but him mostly.
Jesus.
Because we would have told him,
different movie.
This isn't very good.
Yeah. But he said that you can't because for obvious reasons, they don't let anybody see them. And so it's all kind of like just, you got to hope.
What I don't understand is why something like Solo, was, or even Rogue One, was half to, 2/3 finished, screened internally at Disney, didn't like it, scrap it, start again, basically. And something like The Last Jedi just goes through with no notes from corporate. You know what I mean? Like, just whatever fucking Rian John... Well,
that's what they said. I don't know. Like, can we really trust that there weren't any? Like,
well, remember, because he did, before it came out, he did say that, hey, I've got another trilogy coming out, and they did confirm that at the time as well. So you'd think that they were happy with what he'd done.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he's just like flexible enough on set that he's not. A lot of directors might be like, just stay the fuck away from me, like, and let me do my thing. Maybe he was just like, let's all work it on together.
Yeah, just like a super nice
do
guy.
whatever
and
you tell me to do.
Working with him.
He seems like
the
a
thing,
really
though.
nice guy.
If he'd done a screening, a test screen, and I know they don't for Star Wars because of spoilers, but
did they not for Rogue One? I'm sure I read something at some point about Rogue One having test screenings that people weren't happy with. Yeah, maybe.
I also thought they did test screenings for The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, because they changed the ending, I thought.
Yeah, I remember reading things that people were seeing test screenings.
Maybe they use professional,
maybe something they've changed
professional
now?
testers rather than, cross sectional.
How do we get that job? I'm a professional movie watcher.
Yeah.
I just give my opinion on movies. Oh, I think we do that.
We do. I mean, that is what we do. Yeah, that is what we do.
Yeah.
But I do wish I'd been able to give my opinion on this one because I would have said, dude, like a third of this is fucking great, and 2/3 of it has to be rewritten and reshot.
Imagine they go they're like Kathleen Kennedy calls in the team. They're like, all right, what do the testers think? And the guy's like, well, we've got a report back here from Luke Alderson. He says it was all right.
Yeah, he says, watch it if you like it. If you don't like it, give it a miss.
Don't watch it. Yeah,
great advice right there.
Yeah. I also believe he's a Scientologist.
Yeah,
they keep sending me stuff.
Do they?
Oh, I bet they do, mate. Is there any reason I have to watch The Last Jedi anymore? Or if I was going to watch through all of the Star Wars again, could I watch The Force Awakens and then Rise of Skywalker and have it just feel like continuity? Or is there anything that I have to get out of The Last Jedi?
I think you would just need to know that Snoke was killed.
Yeah,
and that he
I guess that's true.
Ended up being anything.
Because
there's literally no reason for him to have existed. Which, it strikes me, one of the most bizarre things about it is that the people that say it doesn't matter that Snoke was nobody. I'm like, how the fuck does it not matter that this character who ended up being like the main villain for, sort of 2 movies, we don't even know who the fuck he was. Isn't that weird? You don't think that's weird? He didn't exist in the 6 movies that led up to this, and then all of a sudden he's there? No one thinks that's weird? Okay. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because then The Force Awakens will be about a group of people looking for Luke Skywalker and then don't find him.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and you need to know that Luke was a prick at some point to Rey. I guess there's a few things.
If we skip can we skip out the part where Luke was a prick?
Can we skip out the part
no,
where
well,
Luke
no, because
drinks out of a cow?
Yeah, we can cut that out. I reckon you could make like a 5-minute version of Last Jedi.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be like when you didn't want to play Mass Effect, but you wanted to play Mass Effect 2, and so you could download just that little kind of animated version.
Oh, yeah, the comic book.
Yeah, to just kind of catch you up.
Snoke died, and Luke was mean to Rey. All right, moving on.
Yeah. Rey's parents were no one, or were they?
Yeah, God.
Come on the show, Ryan Johnson. Tell us your side of the story.
Please.
Tell
us when we're getting your trilogy.
He's certainly not shy defending his decisions, so that'd probably be all right.
Yeah.
And he seems like a nice guy.
We can just talk about Space Iron for as long as he wants.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, then please subscribe in iTunes to receive episodes automatically. We'll see you next time.